I'm Candide. You want to hear a story? Gentlemen, you can have everything. Just sit down for a story, please. And I'll tell you the story of my long and adventurous life, living in my many adventures. It all started back in Germany, where I met the love of my life, Candide. Worked for quite some time there.
I grew up in Westphalia, also known as Germany, of course, where I met the love of my life, Candide. We were quite happy with each other until her father found out about us. He immediately threw me out of the castle, and I had no choice but to flee for my life. After that, I was swiftly indoctrinated into the Bulgar army, where, suffice to say, I was kind of a coward. Didn't do a whole lot for them. The war itself was awful. Thousands of people died, and some of them really enjoyed it and thought it was for some greater cause. On both sides of the war, kings and soldiers alike would pray to their god for victory. I wasn't really a religious kind of guy, so I slipped away during one of those events so I wouldn't have to participate in such a bloody conflict anymore. God didn't really help them anyways. After that, I found Pangloss and an Anabaptist. The Anabaptist jumped off a boat to save someone in the middle of a storm. Me and Pangloss stayed on, and we lived. Pangloss was then hanged in Lisbon in order to stop earthquakes, along with me getting whipped. I don't think it helped. After that, I met up with an old lady and my dear, dear Candide. The old lady isn't really important, but I found Candide, and she's all that matters. After that, I found that Candide was actually being shared by a Jew and an Inquisitor. I killed the Inquisitor, but found out that Candide was soon to be married by the local governor, so I fled. Quickly after that, I found Candide's brother, who was also not happy with the prospect of me marrying his sister. I quickly fled with my new servant, Cacambo. After that, we were, after some escapades, captured by local natives. But Cacambo, I'm glad that I took him into my servantry, was good enough with words that he managed to get us out of the situation. We fled that area immediately as well. After that, we were wandering around aimlessly, not quite sure where we were. But eventually we started stumbling upon jewels just lying in the ground. They were valuable in our native countries. But eventually we found the leader of this region, which we later found out was to be called El Dorado. They welcomed us with open arms. Never have I met someone so hospitable before. When we asked for supplies and transportation back to our homeland, he was quite agreeable and gave it willingly. I don't think I'll ever forget him. After that, I thought it would be a good idea for Cacambo and I to split up to try and find Candide. He agreed, willingly. France. I had hoped to find Candide there and had heard that it was quite a romantic area. Unfortunately, I never arrived. Our boat saw an encounter between two other ships, which was quite violent, and I'm quite certain that many people died in the event. It was enough of a detour for us to go to Venus instead. Venus was one of my more enjoyable areas to stay at. The weather was always nice, the people were always enjoyable to be around, there was always laughter and music in the air. The canals were always fun to ride in. There is where I actually spent most of the rest of my money, just throwing it out to peasants, hiring elaborate things. I even found a companion named Martin. He joined me for the rest of my journeys. It was there that I found a gathering of 6 strangers who later revealed themselves to be kings. The first one, named Ahmed III, former Grand Sultan. The second was Ivan, former emperor of all of the Russians. Fortunately, he was dethroned in his cradle. The third king was Charles Edward, King of England. However, his father renounced his right to the throne in his favor. The fourth was a king of Poland, and war stripped him of most of his jewels and valuables. The fifth also claimed to be a king of Poland. He'd lost his kingdom twice. his story was one of the more unfortunate. However, the sixth was the elected king of Corsica. We pitied him so much that we gave him a great amount of money. However, it turned out that Cacambo was now a servant for one of these kings and came up to me and revealed the location of Cunigond, which was actually in Turkey. With that, I bought his freedom, and we made off quickly to find my love. We hired a Turkish boat, and on the way, we had many great discussions and pondered how we were going to rescue my love out of such a precarious situation. It was easy. Actually, we found Cunigond, the old lady, Cunigond's brother, and Pangloss all together. I quickly purchased them from the Turkish captain of the boat, squandering almost the rest of my money. It wasn't a very happy ending, though, for Cunigond's brother. He was still upset with me wanting to marry his sister, but I told him to shove off, and he did leave us in peace, finally to be happy. After that, we all bought a farm with the rest of my fortunes and lived there happily ever after. Good story tale ending. And that leads us to now.
And that was the end of my story. I'm the last member of that group of people who had such extraordinary tales from. And now that I've passed on the stories of me and my friends, I can die in peace. Goodbye, Vikings. No! No!
So, what'd you think of that man's story?
Oh, I think it was pretty fantastic myself. It kind of seemed almost like it was made up, though, as if by somebody called Voltaire.
Interesting. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
almost like that man went through some terrible times and went through an earthquake that ruined his life.
Yeah, probably the same earthquake that was in the story that killed so many people.
I think you're onto something.
Yeah, and then it also had a lot of satire that was making fun of many different objects.
Yeah. For example, the Leibniz philosophy.
I would agree with that exactly.
Optimism, he really hated optimism.
Yeah, just the idea that God created everything perfect and everything was going exactly where it needed to be, completely ridiculed the entire story.
He also his competitive authors that he probably had, he did not like them at all. You know,
Yeah, he probably didn't like all the different plots they had going on. That's why he made such a convoluted plot himself, with so many different diverging storylines.
I think you're onto something there. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, he also made fun of religion and war quite a bit as well.
yeah, like when he ran away from those one people. He was a
Oh
coward.
yeah. And the way he talked about the war too, and just matter-of-factly all the thousands of dead bodies, and including like how glorious it was, just kind of making fun of the entire proceedings.
Yeah.
And then just how he made fun of religion as well.
Yeah.
Just how the Catholic Church was supposed to be a pinnacle of society, but it killed so many different people with the Inquisition and that type of thing.
And it was interesting how he just made fun of all the just ridiculous things that happened, like in his life, for example, where all these dead people kept coming back to life.
Oh yes.
You know, optimism, when in real life it's just not that way at all. They end up dying and they stay dead.
Really criticized so many different things. It was good though.
It's good.
Story.
Candide, please don't go. Your life
Just stay with me, don't move on, 'cause your story made me feel like your son. Candide, you had a very cool story, bro. You found the lost city of El Dorado, and anywhere you would have chased Candide. But now you're dead and she's ugly. Sorry for trashing your home, but here you can have back your comb. You were like a father to me, and now that you're dead, I'm incomplete. Indeed, you had a very cool story, bro. You found the lost city of El Dorado, and anywhere you would have chased Candide. But now you're dead and she's ugly. Life needs fudge you. You're a stupid piece of crap, and I crapped all over you. But how am I back alive? Probably just to spite your moronic life. Miss Sager, could you please give us an A? We worked on this thing a whole Saturday, and I don't know why you don't like giving good grades. But an A would sure help in our escapades.
They were kings, but they just were poor and didn't have anything.
What a good mommy witch king.
I'm a noble king.
I'm pretty cool.
I used to be awesome, but now I'm poor.
I'm chicken in my head.
Need money.
Yeah, you should give me money. Okay, you
I'm
have some
poor.
money. You guys need it. Have some money. There you go. Cool.
Done? Now we need Kakembo telling me stuff.
Mhm.
Good story. There you go. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah, we mattered our way through it.
We did.
stuck in his sleeve.
Here, I got this, Tristan. I'll give him.
Yeah, right, you got the key, I'll take the jewel.
Thank you.